You've been lied to. You were told that to sell, you needed thousands of followers, a massive audience, an engaged community. What if I told you that this rat race for numbers is the exact reason you're getting nowhere? That the secret to selling is to start with zero. 0 followers. 0 likes. 0 audience. Do you think that's impossible? Brace yourselves. In the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you a story inspired by real events, that will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about sales. We're going to break down together the 7 precise steps of what I call the artisan method. A radically counterintuitive approach to selling any product or service, starting from absolute scratch. Stick with me until the very end, because the 7th and final step is a psychological trigger so powerful it can turn a complete stranger into your biggest ambassador. Here we go. The first chapter of our story is called The Counterintuitive Idea. The mistake 99% of people make is believing that audience is a prerequisite. They spend months, sometimes years, creating content, chasing algorithms, begging for subscriptions, only to end up with a community that doesn't resonate with them and doesn't buy anything. The truth is, audience isn't the starting point. It's the consequence. It's the outcome of a successful sale, not its prerequisite. Imagine an artisan, let's call her Clara. Clara doesn't spend her days on social media. She knows nothing about hashtags or trends. Her only obsession is her product, handmade leather notebooks, designed to last a lifetime. Every stitch is perfect, every page is carefully chosen. Her product is exceptional. But she has no one to sell it to. 0 audience. Instead of panicking and creating an Instagram account, she did something radically different. She focused on the intrinsic value of what she was offering. She understood that the quality of her product had to speak louder than any viral post. This is the first building block. Before looking for someone to talk to, make sure you have something powerful to say, not with words, but with your offer. But having a great product isn't enough, right? That's where the second, most crucial step comes in, the zero client strategy. Clara wasn't trying to sell her notebooks to everyone. She wasn't targeting people who liked to write. That was too vague, too broad. It's an ocean where you drown. So she defined her zero client, her very first ideal customer, with surgical precision. Who was he? He wasn't just a writer. He was an aspiring author, someone who dreams of writing their first novel but is paralyzed by writer's block. Someone who needs a totem object, a notebook so inspiring it makes them want to get started. Do you see the difference? It's no longer I like to write, it's I have a deep problem and I'm looking for an emotional solution. By focusing on this single person, on this unique problem, Clara transformed her product. It was no longer a simple notebook, it was the first novel notebook. Suddenly, her offer became magnetic for a tiny fraction of the population. And that's exactly what we want. Forget the masses. Think of one person. Who are they? What is their biggest struggle? How can your offer be the answer to their prayer? That's the secret. Not looking for an audience, but looking for one client. The zero client. Once you know who you're talking to, the question becomes, where do you find them? This is our third step, the discreet direct approach. Since Clara has no audience, she has to go where her zero client's attention already is. But be careful, not just anywhere. Not on the big platforms where everyone is shouting. She sought out the sanctuaries. The quiet places, the niche communities where conversations are deep and authentic. Private forums for aspiring authors. Small Facebook groups dedicated to writing. Discord communities where people share their doubts and progress. And there, she didn't show up shouting "Buy my notebooks." That would be instant death. No. She did what no one does, she listened. She read the conversations. She understood their frustrations, their hopes. She participated, but not as a seller. As a member of the tribe. She gave advice, shared her own difficulties, encouraged others. She built trust, drop by drop, without ever mentioning her product. She became a familiar and respected voice within these small circles. The idea here is simple: stop trying to draw people to you. Go to them. Integrate into their trusted spaces, not as an intruder, but as an equal who understands their world. But listening and participating doesn't close a sale. We agree. And that's where the genius of the fourth step comes into play: conversational selling. After several weeks of listening and participating, Clara spotted a person in a forum who perfectly matched her zero client. Let's call him Thomas. Thomas had posted a poignant message about his difficulties starting his novel, about his imposter syndrome. Clara sent him a private message. But not a sales pitch. The message said something like, "Hi Thomas, I read your post on the forum. I've been there too, and it's a terrible struggle. I saw you were looking for a way to motivate yourself. It's funny, because I've created something that might help you get unstuck. It might not be for you, but I designed a notebook specifically for that precise moment, when you need to put down the first word. No pressure, but if you're interested in learning more, let me know. Let's analyze this message. It's empathetic. It doesn't sell anything. It offers a potential solution to a clearly identified problem. It gives Thomas complete control. No click here, no special promotion. Just a human conversation." Thomas, feeling understood and not pressured, replied. A discussion ensued. Clara told him about the philosophy behind the notebook, the choice of paper, the feel of the leather. She didn't sell features, she sold an experience, a solution to his pain. And, of course, Thomas bought it. It was the first sale. The first domino. Conversational selling is the art of transforming a human interaction into a transaction, without the person ever feeling like they've been sold to. And that's when the magic truly begins to happen. Because that's not all. The sale to Thomas was just the beginning. The fifth step is what I call the invisible leverage effect. A few days later, Thomas, overjoyed with his new notebook, did something spontaneous. He went back to the forum and wrote a post. Not an advertisement. A thank you post. He told his story, his block, and how this incredible object, received from Clara, had been the spark he needed. He posted a photo of the notebook. He talked about the quality, the attention to detail, but most importantly, the emotional impact it had on him. This message, written by a trusted member of the community, was 1,000 times more valuable than any advertisement Clara could have made. It was authentic, raw, and ultra-targeted social proof. Instantly, 3 other people from the forum contacted Clara privately. They didn't ask her, "What's your product?" They told her, "I want what Thomas has." Do you understand the power of this mechanism? Clara didn't need to build an audience. Her first client became her first billboard. She used the social proof of a stranger to convince others. The secret is not to have 100 mediocre testimonials, but one extraordinary testimonial from the right person, in the right place. But we can't rely solely on luck, on spontaneous testimonials. We need to systematize expansion. That's the purpose of our 6th step, the silent partners system. Clara understood that she could replicate the go where the attention is model. She identified a few small blogs. Not influencers with millions of subscribers. No. Niche blogs run by passionate individuals, with a small but ultra-qualified audience of aspiring authors. She didn't propose a paid partnership or product placement. Her approach was far more subtle. She contacted the creator of one of these blogs and said, "Hello, I'm a big admirer of your blog. I see your passion for helping authors. To thank you and to offer something special to your community, I'd like to send you one of my handmade notebooks. You can offer it as a contest prize, or simply keep it for yourself. It's a gift, with no strings attached." What's happening here? The blogger receives a high-value gift, with no required compensation. 9 times out of 10, She is so touched by the gesture and impressed by the quality of the product that she naturally mentions it to her audience. She organizes the contest. And just like that, Clara is instantly exposed to hundreds, even thousands of potential zero clients, with the validation and recommendation of a trusted source. She created an army of silent partners who promote for her, not because they are paid, but because they genuinely believe in the value of what she does. It's a strategy of alliance, not advertising. But here's the most important thing, the keystone of the entire system. The seventh and final step. Organic scaling. This is what transforms these isolated actions into a self-feeding machine. Every new client, whether through forums or partner blogs, was treated with obsessive care. Clara added a handwritten note to each package. She followed up a week after delivery. She wasn't selling a product, she was building a relationship. And what happens when you have an exceptional customer experience? You talk about it. Naturally. These first clients began posting photos of their notebooks on their own small social networks. They told their friends in their writing circles. Word of mouth began to do its work. Slowly, silently, without any marketing campaign, a reputation was built. People started looking for Clara's name, the name of her notebooks. It was at that moment, and only at that moment, that she created a simple website. Not to sell, but to welcome the people who were already looking for her. Her audience wasn't built by force, by pushing content. It was built organically, attracted like a magnet by the value and reputation of her product. The audience became the inevitable consequence of a sales strategy perfectly executed up front. To summarize, the artisan method is a complete reversal of the usual logic. 1. Forget audience size, obsess over the quality of your offer. 2. Don't target everyone, define your zero client with maniacal precision. 3. Don't attract, infiltrate the sanctuaries where your client already is. 4. Don't sell, engage in human conversations and solve problems. 5. Don't look for thousands of likes, look for one authentic and powerful testimonial. 6. Don't pay for ads, create strategic alliances with niche partners. And 7. Don't force growth, let the exceptional customer experience create word of mouth that will build your audience for you. Selling without an audience isn't a hacking technique. It's a philosophy. It's getting back to basics, a remarkable product, a deep understanding of a human being, and an authentic connection. The audience, the community, the massive sales, all that comes later. It's the reward, not the starting point. So the next time you feel discouraged by your follower count, remember Clara's story. Remember that your first client isn't in a crowd, but at the end of a conversation. Comment go if you want to launch your business. Don't forget to subscribe.